Hello, this is John Pheasant here at WBOC's Historic Studio D, and you're watching Delmarva Life.
Great to have the John Pheasant Band in again today. These guys are awesome. We've got a seat waiting for you in the Delmarva Life audience. We'd like for you to be a part of the fun. Book your seat by visiting delmarvalife.com and clicking on the show tab. It's on the left side of the home screen now, or you can just give us a call, 443-880-9116.
Milk, yogurt, butter. These are just some of the dairy products we most likely incorporate into our daily routine.
But do you ever stop and think of the work that goes into making it all? Well, Brian Spiro's got a first-hand account on a dairy farm in Federalsburg.
Ask anyone who works on a dairy farm what it's like, and they will tell you.
It's a very challenging lifestyle, very long days, and it's a daily thing. It's a daily grind. No vacations, no salaries anymore.
Bob Miller's family has been in the dairy business for years. They own this farm in Federalsburg, along with 60 cows.
I kind of was born into it. You know, my parents, they were dairying in New Jersey, and so, I was born there, and I grew up with it. We moved here to Maryland in 1989 to have a better farm that's more suitable to grazing what they wanted to do. And I just kind of grew up with it. It's always been a part of my life.
And in 2009, Bob and his family took this operation to the next level. They opened the Nice Farms Creamery right on the property as a way to help the family and the farm.
My parents were talking about, maybe possibly getting out of the dairy business. It was, a very tough time in the dairy industry then. And I didn't want that to happen, and they really didn't want it to happen either. So we thought perhaps, if I came up with the creamery concept to be able to market our milk directly.
And it's proving to be beneficial on many levels. But before we get to the inner workings of the creamery, it's important to show how the process starts. We got a front row seat of it all, and as you can tell, even in the rain, Mother Nature doesn't stop the workflow. First, the cows are brought in from the fields early in the morning, and these cows have the routine down. They get into place, their udders are cleaned, and within moments, these milking machines are hooked up and the process begins. And it's all over in less than 10 minutes. The cow then heads out the door, right past the line of other cows waiting to get in.
And they're already thinking about what field they're going to go to. So, the cow is really, we only handle them for, a few minutes a day. The rest of the time they're out and about doing their thing.
For these cows, it's important for them to be out in the field, grazing. They're given a small amount of grain during the milking process. But Bob says it's the grass that helps produce good, quality milk.
The less grain you feed, the better, because that way, if you feed too much grain, it actually will counteract the good grass quality. So you want to feed little to no grain, to keep that.
So you're probably wondering, what happens to the milk once it's pumped from the cows? Well, it goes into what's called a receiving jar, which you can see here. From there, it makes its way through a filter, and then it's pumped into these vats inside the creamery. Bob says this is where the milk goes through a low-temperature pasteurization. The heat is enough to make the milk safe for consumption, but it doesn't tamper with the liquid too much.
It's less pasteurization temperature-wise, so you can take our milk home and make cheese with it. You can take our milk home and make yogurt with it that you can do yourself, because the milk hasn't been, destroyed or damaged, I should say, damaged to the point where it won't culture very well or it won't curd very well. So and that's a selling point. People want less processed. We're finding out that the more you seem to mess with food, the worse it is for you.
From there, it's cooled, and after all the pouring and bottling is complete, it's ready to be shipped. I helped Bob's younger brother, Luke, load up all the crates of milk that are sent to various locations on Delmarva. But this creamery is more than just milk. They also make yogurt and butter. Bob says you can tell this butter is fresh by the deep gold color.
60 years ago, this was more commonplace, having your milk available from a local dairy. 60 years ago, that was commonplace. Now, it kind of faded out over time. And now there's a few places, ours being one of them, where, again, you can get that farm fresh milk and other dairy products that, are available relatively easy to most people.
On today's schedule, Luke and the family had to bring all their products to the Camden Farmers Market in Salisbury.
A quart of plain.
Bob says at this point, people have come to expect the farm fresh dairy products.
I work an 18-hour day. My parents work very hard too. and it's daily, and you need that kind of inspiration, I guess. The excitement kind of feeds you, so that you can continue to do what you're doing.
And for Bob, this operation is not one about quantity, but rather quality.
When we're processing the milk here on the farm, we can control it right from the cow all the way to when we hand it to somebody. And that's very important, because on the milk side, you got the pastures, the minimum grain, that's making a good milk. And then you got on our side the low temperature pasteurization, the non-homogenization, the very fact that we are bottling milk the day of milking. There's no waiting. That's key too. So people are getting a superior product from the beginning all the way to the end of the whole milk process.
And while many in the dairy industry have faded away over the years, Bob and his family are proving that their hard work and the creamery can keep the milk flow moving into the future.
I think it's allowing us to continue doing what I know my parents enjoy, and what I've always enjoyed being around too and working with, is a small family dairy, which is just, like you said, becoming a thing of the past. We're biggering, as they would say in the Lorax, everything's getting bigger, more and more cows. But we don't want to do that. We're out of step with that. We want to do our own thing, and that's I think the creamery is helping us do that.
Bob also points out the milking process at the farm isn't just a morning routine, it's also going to be done in the afternoon. He says depending on the season and the time of the year, the amount of milk produced will vary. Right now, it's about 200 pounds a day.
Wow. Their chocolate milk is great. I just want to say I've had it. Still to come, we've got a big concert announcement coming up and your chance to win tickets. We'll give you a hint. It's a big name country star.
Big name. That's not the only music we have today, from country to classic rock. Up next, the John Pheasant Band takes the Delmarva Life stage.
But first, if you're on the go, Rachel Ray has a handy how-to tip on how to make snacking simple.
Here are a couple of really cool ideas moving into the warmer months. If you want to bring a nice healthy snack with you during the day, so you're not eating a lot of heavy food on the go, this is a great tip for kids or busy moms and dads. Take your favorite dipper, in this case, peanut butter and celery, that's one of my all-time faves, or nice healthy hummus. I love this spicy hummus. Pop a little in the bottom of a deli cup, then hold up your vegetable, cut it to fit the container, and stick it right in, and it's pre-dipped.